Hello YouTubers! Welcome to the first episode of Let's Eat About This. I am Leat, L-E-A-T, and today I will be demonstrating the SodaStream. A lot of people have heard good and bad about the SodaStream. I mean, it's one of those products you seem to either love it or hate it. But I'm going to try to give an impartial review on it, let you know the ups and downs, and just basically tell you about the product. SodaStream is this little device right here. It runs anywhere from $70 to $120 depending on the model. If you want the higher end models that have like the automatic carbonator and all that, they do run higher, but this is just the base model. I believe I paid about $70 for mine. It came with all sorts of sample for flavors to try out. What you get is the bottle, the SodaStream, your sample flavors, and this little dealie back here. This is your carbonator. If you've ever played with a paintball gun, a pellet gun, anything like that, it's pretty much the same technology. It's just a medical grade CO2 canister, ejects it up in here, ejects it into the water, carbonates it. What makes the SodaStream so amazing is that it's simple. Once this is in place and this is in place, all you do is just push this button until you hear the buzzer. 3 presses should give you about average carbonation. I like mine a little bit stronger, around 5 or 6. Eventually though, you will hit a limit about how much you can actually put in there. I mean, at some point the water won't be able to hold anymore. And all this does is click back on here. It's a pretty green product. I know that gets thrown around a lot today, but it's made of plastic and metal, it's recyclable. And it's a pretty sturdy build quality. I mean, I don't feel it really giving in. It doesn't feel cheap at all to me. One of the things I worried about before buying it was that some people said it felt cheap, but it feels pretty strong to me. This is your carbonation bottle. You will put water in here to be carbonated. I've got it up to the fill line already right now, but the magic happens right here. This little cap has some sort of seal in it. I don't know if you can see that. It might be rubber, silicone, something like that, but that's what holds the fizz in longer than a normal soda bottle. A normal soda bottle, you know, it'll be flat in a few days. This just seems to hold the fizz a very long time. I've never actually had any of the stuff linger around long enough to see how long it will actually keep its fizziness. That just tells you how good it is. The way you load up the product, you just push this out here and then we'll just load the bottle in. Simple screw mechanism. Don't ever go too far past the fill line or it may leak out. Let's see. It's so much easier to do this when you're not on camera, I found. There we go. I was having trouble getting it centered up there. Drop this back down and you start to push this button right here. Fizz. Fizz. That was the first buzz. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll let it sit there for a moment, let it settle down. You never want to put a sugary drink in here or anything that's already flavored. You only want water. What will happen, I really don't know. They just say not to do it. I assume it would gum up the little tube that's in there. When you push on this, it releases the pressure. It makes a very cool whoosh sound. Here we have your standard cola flavor. It tastes, I can't really describe it as too generic, but it's somewhere in between Coke and Pepsi in terms of sweetness. It's definitely a distinct flavor. Sugar, water. You might want to note though that it doesn't say beet sugar or cane sugar, it just says sugar. Caramel coloring, phosphoric acid, natural flavor, aspartame, potassium, sucralose, sodium citrate, and caffeine. It doesn't have anything like aspartame in there, which is a very controversial sweetener. It has no high fructose corn syrup. You know, people are arguing right now, is this healthy, is that healthy? And a lot of people say the corn syrup is not that good for you. I don't know, I'm not a doctor. Each bottle like this little bottle will make about 50 8-ounce servings. That's equivalent to 6.5, 2 liters, somewhere in that ballpark. It's lightweight, easy to carry, easy to store. Let's see. We have next cherry cola. I love cherry cola. I can't pass by a fountain that has cherry Coke and not get a glass. This is a little bit sweeter than cherry Coke and most of the other cherry colas I've tried. The exception might be the Jones Cola. I don't know if anyone's ever tried those. They're a very sweet, natural soda that's sold in the glass bottles. You should try it if it's available in your local area. Every now and then we'll get some here at Big Lots. It's probably my personal favorite at the moment. Last but not least, we have Dr. Pete. While his name is similar to another doctor, they don't really have a lot in common. Dr. Pete has some hints of Dr. Pepper, but it's not a strong resemblance. Dr. Pete is sweeter, and I would say that it's a little bit more of a spicy taste too. I unfortunately never had the privilege to try the Heritage Dr. Pepper, so I can't say how this would compare to a Dr. Pepper made with pure cane sugar, but this goes down smooth. If you've ever tried to taste Mountain Dew Throwback, Pepsi Throwback, Sierra Mist, and Sierra Mist Natural, the sugar sodas all tend to go down a little bit smoother. I don't know if it's the sugar or the lack of the corn syrup, but they don't really have that aftertaste or burn. And all of these go down really smooth. We've got this here, it's set for a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this open here and get this undone. Always keep a good grip on it because this will make a mess everywhere and you don't want to lose your carbonation. There we go. Now to mix your soda, you just simply choose your flavor. The cap that seals this also doubles as your measuring. One capful, I know that looks kind of gross, but one capful should be enough for most people. I like mine a little extra sweet. We're going to do a capful here, or close to. You don't want to get it too close to the edge, it will make a mess, and the stuff is difficult to clean up. We're going to pour it in here. Do not pour it in fast. It will result in a very large mess. Do not ask me how I know. You just do it at sort of an angle and just sort of ease it in at a steady rate. Let it settle in there. You can see that it's slowly changing colors, dissolving into it. Let's pour in a little bit more. I didn't pour in enough. Slowly there. Now what's neat about SodaStream is you can pick and mix your flavors. This would be a very strong cherry cola for most people, but like I said, I like mine just a little bit stronger. We're going to close that back up and we're going to take a little of the Dr. Pete here. I put in about 1 cap of the cherry and I'm going to put in about a 1/4 cap of the Dr. Pete just to get my own little blend going here. It might be a little bit closer to 1/3 of a cap, but we're not going to split hairs. Just to ease that on in. Now I believe I read somewhere that it's recommended to shake this. I can't say I recommend that to blend it. What I normally do to get it all mixed up is I just do it like this for a little bit. The cap should hold it. Just do it like that a few times and they shouldn't make a mess when you go to open it. It smells good. Now you're wondering what's the main benefits of having a SodaStream over just going to buy bottles of soda. Considering this is the equivalent of like 6 2 liters, would you rather carry this down a flight of stairs or up a flight of stairs or 6 2 liters? Takes up less space to ship, takes less plastic to make the bottles. You have your recyclable bottle right here. It's made of food grade plastic, there are no chemicals to leach from it. It's a healthier, greener alternative because think about this. How many bottles of soda do you throw away every year? How much plastic is that we need for other things? How much oil are we using? How much petroleum? SodaStream is a green alternative, and like I said, that term does get thrown around a lot these days, but they do make an effort. With gas prices going up like they are, I mean, in a short time, this is very competitive with just going to the store and buying soda, particularly if you live a good distance away. I can't tell you how many trips this has saved me, where I was starting to think, well, now I've got to go to a gas station or a convenience store or something late at night when I just wanted to satisfy my sweet tooth. I didn't have to go. I just went in the kitchen, made a ball of this, put the rest in the fridge, and that was good. Now we're going to try my little flavor here. Let's see, just pour it in this cup. It's got a nice fizz. Look at that fizz there. Smells great. You can use any sort of water that you want to use, like tap water, distilled water, bottled water, even mineral water, but the best result seems to come from either filtered water or distilled water. It doesn't have as much of a aftertaste to it if you do it like that. With tap water, it's still very drinkable. It's still really no burn effect compared to normal soda. Anyway, here we go. It's good. Sweet. When you mix those two together, you get the cherry flavor, and then you get sort of almost, oddly enough, a little citrus aftertaste. It goes down smooth, it doesn't burn, you just feel the bubbles. It's really good. Now, if you don't like the generic flavors, cherry cola, Dr. Pepper, clones, basically like that, they do have Country Time lemonade, Kool-Aid, things like that, and they're always getting more flavors. If you want to be creative, you know those little Mio packets? You just squeeze one of those in there and you can still have flavoring that way. I mean, it's all basically the same stuff, it's just a different type of syrup. I can say though that this was a good purchase. I mean, I was apprehensive at first about spending $70 for yet another appliance. I mean, I don't have a lot of room here, but it's seen a fair amount of use. It's been a good buy. It doesn't really take up that much space when I thought, well, how many 2 liters am I keeping in my fridge? I can say this whole kit right here takes up a lot less space. Replacement bottles and carbonation units are readily available and they're not that expensive. It works out very close to the price of regular soda and it's a lot more convenient. Well, if you have any suggestions on what flavors you'd like to see me try or anything like that, I am wanting to look into doing like a viewer segment here of your request. Pretty much that should be it for this round. Your mileage may vary. Like, comment, subscribe please. I would like to hear from you guys. Let me know you're watching. This is Leet signing out. Have a great day, YouTubers.